All right. So I'm just going to read a little bit from a manuscript that I'm working on. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The touch sweeping the hair off my shoulder was soft, almost sensual. The 8 shots of Patron I had taken on a dare didn't allow me to move nor open my eyes. A sound of displeasure left my lips, but somehow I managed to speak. Uh, Melissa, stop. We've talked about this. It's creepy when you do stuff like this. The touch stopped. I listened, holding my breath as the footsteps grew faint. I breathed out relieved and slightly fearful that I had offended her. Her bedroom door closed with a thud, and classical music could be heard playing faintly. I wondered, when did she start listening to Mozart? But I only entertained the thought briefly before my mind went blank and faded out. The following morning, I smelled bacon, and I sat up quickly, only to collapse back onto the satin pillow. My cell rang and I moaned, agitated. When the hell did she start eating bacon? The question crossed my mind as I rolled over and snatched up the offending object. I sighed. Hello? Girl, why are you so dry on the phone? Damn. If I knew you were going to be all anti, I wouldn't have called. I'm sorry, Diane. I've got a hangover. I sat up again, but this time much slower. She's been acting weird. I placed my hand over my forehead and glanced at the TARDIS alarm clock. Well, you're not as young as you used to be. You going to class today? Nope. Oh, okay. So you're going to miss your midterm. I rolled my eyes and swung my legs over the side of the bed. Nope. I'm getting ready as we speak. Diane chuckled. Liar. So what's new with the roommate? Like I said, she's just being weird, you know? When is she not being a total weirdo? Has she taken the Black Dahlia crime scene photos down yet? I stood wobbling. Quickly, I regained my balance and walked over to my private bathroom. No, but we've met in the middle, so to speak. As long as she keeps them in her room and keeps the door closed, we're good. Looking at my reflection, I didn't know where to begin and opted for sitting on the toilet. I cradled my hand with my free head. I cradled my head with my free hand. Diane sighed. She's cooking breakfast, I whispered. Really? Yeah, and I smelled bacon. She laughed, and I had to pull the phone away from my ear slightly. So I thought she was a vegan or something. She continued laughing. She was caressing my hair last night. Diane stopped, and I could almost hear her gnawing on her bottom lip. Cam, all joking aside, it may be time to move out. She's not that bad, you know? And she and I talked, and the sentence died on my lips as I looked up to see Melissa's reflection in the full-length mirror. Her body was angled in the doorway, more toward the bedroom, with her head just turned just enough for me to see that she was staring at me. The eyes were dark brown, but Melissa's are blue. I shook off the oddity, thinking she was wearing contacts. She did shit like that. Her skin was paler than usual, and I could see bandages around her neck and wrists. I ran my eyes over her form and took in how the skin of her legs were pooled. I wondered if she was ashy. Her hair was full and shinier than I had ever seen it. It looked good, and I smiled up at her, hoping she didn't hear what I had said to Diane. I have to go. She's around, isn't she? Yeah, I'll see you later. I whispered and quickly hung up the phone. Melissa, about last night. I know you were trying to help. I We've talked about this before, okay? There was no reaction or movement for what felt like minutes, and then she raised her hand and beckoned me to come. At lightning speed, she left the room, and before I could get to the hallway, Melissa had disappeared behind the door to her bedroom. I heard it lock as I stopped a few feet from it. I rolled my eyes. Maybe it was time to move out. I headed toward the kitchen and saw the table set for one. I sat and ate quickly, gulping down the orange juice. It felt like hours, or maybe it was just a few minutes. I couldn't tell anymore as the cabinets and window merged into one. I tried to stand, but my legs felt like jello, and I was only able to rise about an inch off my chair before my bottom collided with it. Involuntarily, I started to rock side to side, and I look up to find Melissa next to me. I reach for her, but she stepped back, letting me fall to the floor. Next, I feel something sharp, followed by wetness on my cheek. Everything fades into black. As Detective Weber came in, clutching a manila file folder, I slapped my hands against the table hard, causing it to rock slightly. I didn't do this. I didn't kill Melissa, I shouted, hoping my passion would exonerate me. He held up his hand, sitting down and placing the file on the table. Yeah, we know. He sounded bored. Then why am I still here? We have questions and more information about your roommate. I folded my hands and nodded, waiting for him to continue. Do you have anywhere to stay? Aside from the apartment. Yes. Good. But what's wrong with my apartment? Why can't I go back? I started to panic. We found Melissa dead in her bedroom. He paused as he continued watching me. I couldn't help but let my hand fly to my mouth. That's not possible. I saw her the other day. She was fine. She cooked breakfast. No, your roommate. He opened the file, revealing the photos. I couldn't tell who the person was, but I knew from the pictures on the wall that it was Melissa's room. Has been dead for over a week. When we searched the apartment, that is how we found her. Cause of death is shock, possibly from being flayed. He looked up near my hairline. I guess that's what the killer was going to do to you. I brought my hand up and felt the bandage. Quickly, I withdrew it, confused. I don't remember this. I pointed to my head. And you won't. When we asked for a hair sample, we ran it. You came back positive for gamma hydroxybutyric acid. What the fuck is that? It's a date rape drug. And it's for seeing your roommate. And that was probably the killer in Melissa's skin. What? I felt bile rise in the back of my throat. All righty, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Hayley. Lots of reactions in the video.